Hi guys, my name is Sharif Sheikh. You can call me Sharif. I have 14 years of experience in IT industry. Right now I'm working as a QA architect and I'm teaching you full stack SDET course in KOSMIK Technologies, JNTU, Hyderabad. So guys, as I said, here I'm going to teach you the full stack SDET. In the full stack SDET, what are the concepts I'm going to be covered? I'm going to show you in the whiteboard. So now come to the point here. So here I'm going to cover the SDET. What is the full form of SDET? Means Software Development Engineer in Test. So this is the full form of SDET. Here we are going to teach it. Now in this Software Development Engineer in Test, we are converting into 4 parts. What are those 4 parts? Means the first 2 parts we are going to cover the manual process. Later I'm going to cover the agile. In agile process I'm going to cover the Scrum methodology. The most craziest methodologies for entire software development purpose. In every IT industry they are following the Scrum methodology. So once we learn the Scrum methodology, then we are going to learn the manual concept. What are those manual concept? Means SDLC. Nothing but to develop entire software, we must follow one approach or one process. That approach we should call as a SDLC. Now once we done the development, then we have to conduct the testing on the entire software. To conduct the entire testing on that software, again we should follow one more approach or process for the testing purpose. That approach we called as a SDLC. Now while conducting the testing, we may or we may not face some defects. So when you find out the defects, then how to report the defects, how to fix the reports, and what are the status we have to give for the defect. Those all things we are going to be discussed in the place of DLC or BLC, defect life cycle or bug life cycle. Now see this, you guys are learn manual process, agile process, Scrum methodology, entire manual concept. Once you learn these things, then this everything you are going to implement on the live project. Compulsory we must implement on the live project. Otherwise what will happen? We just only know the theoretical knowledge, but we need a practical knowledge purpose. We must implement the live project. Now finally in this course we are going to submit the live project also. So submission of the live project also will be happen in this course. Okay, now this entire thing can I called as a manual testing. Are you understanding? Now part 2, this everything is nothing but part 1. Part 1 is SDET course. Now come to in the part 2 again we are going to start the automation. Nothing but whatever the manual things you have done, whatever the drawbacks we have on those in the manual testing, those drawbacks we are going to overcome on the automation. We are going to overcome those drawbacks into automation concept. Here for the automation we select that Selenium WebDriver automation tool. So which tool we selected? Selenium WebDriver. Selenium version 3 onwards we should not call as a Selenium, we should call as a Selenium WebDriver, because that WebDriver got introduced from a Selenium version 3. So that is the reason we should call the WebDriver. Now the Selenium WebDriver can do only actions. What kind of action? Click action, drag and drop action, or send keys action, clear action. This kind of actions only, or find out in the web elements action. This kind of actions only he can do, but he cannot write the logicals, loops, conditions. To achieve those kind of things we are going to use the Java Standard Edition. Complete Java Standard Edition we are going to cover here. Java concept means everybody might be think that like SDET need only hoop concept is fair enough for the SDET. No. So here we are going to cover the OOP concept and moreover some advanced concepts also, like collection topics, multi-threading, IO package, regular expression, exception handling. There are some advanced concepts also which are in-depth knowledge also we should learn inside the Java Standard Edition. Is it clear, right? Next, whatever the code you guys are writing, those entire code management we need to do that. Nothing but source code management purpose. We are going to use the Git and GitHub. Now see this, for the source code management purpose, nothing but whatever the code I have written, that code should be more secure, more reusable, more changes need to be happen, right? So that is the reason to achieve this all things I am going to use the Git or GitHub. Once we save the code, then we must execute the code, right? For execution purpose, for execution, automatic scheduling, automatic execution, this kind of execution purpose, I am going to use the Jenkins concept also. Jenkins tool implementation. Jenkins tool also we are going to use it in this course to achieve CI/CD CT. Up to now you might be aware that continuous integration or continuous development only, but right now in the SDET course we are going to achieve that continuous integration, continuous development, continuous testing as well we are going to achieve by using the Jenkins. Now one wonderful concept, nothing but Maven, one more tool we are going to use it, build tool, we call as a build tool. So this build tool also we need it because of to make automation project, to build automation project. For example, I need a Selenium Java jar file, then you can ask to Maven. I need a Cucumber jar files, you can ask to Maven. I need a TestNG jars, you can ask to Maven. I want to update the versions for the jars, you can ask to Maven. So Maven is going to help you to build the automation project. So that build tool we are using here. This everything we are going to cover on live project. It means whatever the live project you guys are working on the manual, the same live project you are going to convert into automation live project. So here complete thing you are going to work on the automation. So this everything can I call as a happily I can call that, right? Automation testing. So this entire thing I am calling as a automation testing. Can I call this one as the part 2 for SDET? Now come to the part 3. Very important. From part 3 only we can able to call you as a SDET if you know this part 3. What is that part 3? You know, framework implementations. What is that? Framework implementation also we should learn in the SDET. What are the frameworks we are going to cover here? Majority, nothing but basic framework. Page object model. Again this page object model, in 2 approaches we are going to implement that. What are those 2 approaches? You know, first approach, page factory class. Second one, without page factory class. Are you understanding? So the Selenium WebDriver itself providing one of class. What is that? You know, page factory. By using page factory you can implement the page object model, and second one is without using the page factory also we can implement the page object model. Now this is the basic framework we need to be learned in the SDET course. Next, industry ruling framework, technology ruling framework. In every organization, most of organization, out of 100, 95% if any automation projects are there means this framework only they are going to use. What is that? You know, TestNG, nothing but text next generation framework. Now this framework, one more name we can call it, that name is TDD, test driven development. Very important, how we are going to driven our automation test, we use the TestNG. So test driven development. Next one more framework, management ruling framework. Most familiar with the manual tester frameworks. What is that? You know, Cucumber. For this Cucumber, one more name also we can call it. That one is nothing but behavioral driven development. And finally By clubbing these three frameworks or clubbing any two frameworks, we are going to make one more hybrid framework. That one we can call as a C-staff or a hybrid. C-staff full form is customized software testing automation framework. Nothing but simply we can call as a hybrid framework. So these are the part 3 you are going to achieve in the SDET course. So till now we have discussed part 1, nothing but manual testing, part 2 automation testing, part 3 frameworks. Now we are going for part 4. So as a SDET means we have to be learn some kind of logical programs, nothing but data structures, algorithms also we must learn. Those things we are going to cover on part 4. So here, before going to the logical programs, there is one more concept we must cover here. What is the concept, you know? Selenium grid. Why we need this selenium grid means for distribute execution purpose. What is that? Distribute execution purpose. We should use the selenium grid. And once you learn the selenium grid concept, then we are going to focus on the logical programs. Logical programs, very very important, because in every SDET interview minimum 2 to 3 questions are going to ask on the logical programs only. So every interviewer will try to ask you, they will give one scenario kind of things. That scenario you must implement in the either Java, Python, whatever. But right now we are learning here Java, right? So on the Java you should implement that logic. So this logical programs nothing but DS and algorithm. We must learn that. So these are the 4 parts we can say that one. To become the SDET, these 4 parts you must learn that one. What is the part 1? Manual testing. Part 2, automation testing. Part 3, frameworks. Part 4, selenium grid and data structure algorithms. Also we must learn it.